Make you more nervous. So
Okay.
just let Gail know when you're ready to start.
Whenever you're ready. Just tell me when.
Go.
Okay. Hi, I'm Janelle, and I decided to do grade 3. The first activity I decided to do was place value through 10,000. So I made little block pieces. It's not really blocks, but so for the 1,000 I used the large leaf, the 100 I used the smaller leaf, and the 10 I used the pilgrim, and the 1 I used a tiny leaf, so you could tell them apart. And then, so the activity that they were going to do was going to be to identify the place value, and so they'll go ahead and get 5x7 cards, and they can go ahead and write down the numbers that the teacher gives them, and then from there they'll go ahead and pick a card from the deck. So these will be the cards in the deck, but there'll be a bunch of them, and then they'll go from that. So say they grab 100, and their number is 6,297. So they would go ahead and round it to 6,200. And then from there, they would go ahead and they'd get a card to which their first name would be on the front, and then on the back it would show every activity, and just to show which activities they've done, they'll have stickers next to them. And the students will have the teacher walking around for assessment and additional assessment, including a teacher's aide. And if they have any questions, they can always ask. They have a second activity, which is use expanded notation to represent numbers. So in this case, they'll use these same blocks. And so when they're finished, so say 3,206, they'll use 3,000, 200s, and 6 ones. And then they'll show the teacher how they went about each step when they're finished. And then this activity was the sum or difference between two whole numbers between 0 and 10,000. I decided to use different colored blocks because maybe it would make a difference as far as addition and subtraction for the kids. And so for this activity, they would draw more cards out of the deck, but for one side it would say addition or subtraction, and then on the other side it would show the equation. And so from there, they would get to draw cards from a deck 4 times and do their equations. And they would use each block, and when they were finished, they would go ahead and take the blocks to the teacher and the aides and show them how they went about it. For activity 4, they have simple problems involving multiplication for a multi-digit number and a single-digit number. So, say for example they have 3,671 times 3. So they would choose an equation from the blocks, and there would be a bunch of blocks. And they would get to solve a bunch of equations and then show one of the teacher's assistants how they went about it. And then the activity 5 would be solve division problems of a multi-digit number by a single-digit number, but the answer has to be even. There can't be any remainders. So, for example, 135 divided by 5 would be 27. So, in this case, they would have 27 numbers. I only went through 10, but they would have 27 numbers in 5 different groups. So, they would be able to use these foam blocks, and they'd have a little bit more fun with this activity.
Nice job. Let me ask a couple of questions. You want to shut off?